Hi there, this is Liviu from The Artist Ways, and today I want to talk to you about comedy. I have written a little script here that's called Comedy Saves the World, and I'm going to read it out loud. Don't you think we should take everything less serious? Laugh instead of collapsing in front of every obstacle that comes. Suffering is no doubt the greatest teacher, but comedy is the director of a school. This would be our last day on earth. Our death becomes now inevitable. Might be. So what? Give up a second on your opinions, on your revendications, and you might find everything a little amusing. Comedy saves when death comes near. It moves the pain around. It brings casual conversations to the familiar. It makes everything far feel close. Of course, it helps with birth rate, who wants to be with someone who isn't funny? But what I'm referring to is this very special quality that comedy has. When someone identifies with the laughing matter and laughs at his own reflection, it might spark a change in behavior without them knowing. It makes at least consider a different train of thought. Comedy is the last resort of survival. It's the greatest kinship of the human spirit to the unknown world. Comedy explores it. It makes suppositions dressed up as jokes. It makes everything plausible. Have you seen this? At the end of utter suffering is the laugh. At the end of utter joy is the cry. Everything is engineered in such a way. Every feeling has the opposite emotion lurking when high intensities are reached. Fear turns to courage. Hope turns into despair. Trust into disappointment. Tragedy into comedy. Except love. Utter love is encompassing. But to get there, comedy is the bridge to cross. Jokes on nations and laughs on culture bury the hatchet of war. It makes all flags look like cloth on poles. All frontiers look like paint on paper. And the idea of race unbelievably stupid in any functioning brain. When the most horrid act of ignorance has been done and the hope of seeing peace in the world seems to forever postpone, the spirits all around exhausted and dull, we will not give up on comedy. Never. It is beyond our power. Somebody will say something that will at least spark a smile. We are made to hold on to our laughs for dear life. The one who does not laugh is dead. Like an organism in which ideas stopped moving and died. Everything that moves lives, and comedy moves ideas from one place of the consciousness to another. It keeps the brain alive. It empties the place where something learned too early and rigidly set with the handbrake on would be supple again. We can, of course, agree that we cannot laugh at everything. And at the same time consider this, that every single thing, especially the most horrific, is at least amusing seen from some angle, or at least worth a sad yellow laugh. There's no shortage of horrors in the world. Thus, there should be no shortage of jokes, right? A common consensus to make the monsters fall by laughing in their face. Every act of comedy stitches back the fallen to the fabric where he's forced to live because he was born in it, in the togetherness of this world. There are things that might be no laughing matter, but there's all the art of comedy. There's the save we should make jokes about the abyss, the darkest part, the fanatic side of us. If we could ridicule what a killer, sex offender, pedophile, dictator, or some president of some country, or God, we might help him see as we do. It might make him less of a Caesar and more like somebody like you and me. Or at least make him feel like he's not above comedy, and that we can laugh at even, at God, because even God is not above comedy. And He knows it. He encourages us to do it, because that's our spirit. And in some cases, it really takes effort to make the joke, and it takes effort to laugh, but it's worth it. It's alchemy. Make hate funny and give it a chance to turn into mutual understanding. My brother, my wife, and I went to visit some friends from the Roma community that we have in our village, and the Roma community is demonized in my country. And they made a gift of a beautiful dress for my wife, and she ended up looking like one of them, a real gypsy girl. And then my brother said, "Well, now you're good to go into Europe and steal phones." Silence was said, and then they all burst out laughing. It was a make or break type of situation, but it made me realize the wonderful power of real comedy made with courage and with a longing for closeness. We want to know more the distance that it's set by default due to the skin color. The fact that the cliche has been laid out between us and them made for a feeling of kinship between us. We should take comedy classes early on. Write jokes instead of essays. Act funny instead of act serious. We should have after schools about laughing. The lessons would be about setup and punchline, and how each individual would develop a taste for its own style of wordplay. The student mocks the teacher, and the teacher mocks the student. Each one sees precisely what the other is unaware of and reveals it into a pun. Magic. Generations passed jokes from one another, and for some reason ours lost the habit of creating anecdotes. Let's just have a mutual understanding, a law between us that we can make funny what's left and laugh at what's coming. Thank you very much for listening. Subscribe, comment, share, and see you next time.